All right, I'm Richie Mitchell. I'm the founder of Narwhal Truck Toppers. So we're a carbon fiber manufacturer making the first carbon fiber truck topper ever. The big advantage here is the strength to weight ratio is the best in the industry. So these units will range from 90 to 130 pounds depending on how they're optioned. And it supports 600 pounds of dynamic load. So, you know, when you look at other toppers, kind of already speaks for itself. But
yeah, we're so used to seeing these toppers that way. You know, they're 500 pounds, and then you load them up, and you're already at GVWR, and you haven't even put anything in the back of the Jeep yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how much does this thing weigh?
90 to 130 pounds. This unit has our side slider glass, so it's about 110 pounds. But you're adding about 20 pounds by putting glass on the side with sliders. So the composites for this unit are about 60 pounds, and then we've got 40 pounds of glass, and then the rest of the weight's from the hardware. When you look at the rake on the truck, this is a factory Fox suspension that comes on the Ranger Raptor. There's a 1/4 inch of sag adding the topper.
That's awesome.
So you still maintain your factory ride quality, and you know that you can get the performance you want out of the truck. And your center of gravity doesn't change much because it's so light.
Well, it's light and still structurally very, very strong. So will there be options as far as if you don't want windows and that kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have the option to do slider glass, or solid carbon side panels. And then there'll be glass. The standard front window has a slider in it, and then the rear panel's glass as well.
Gotcha.
So to get that sub 100 pound unit, you just run the full carbon side panels. Got some industry first features as well. Besides just being carbon fiber, the rear panel is actually removable. So when you're doing tailgate up hauling and you want to put lumber or mountain bikes over the back, you know, you don't have to deal with the panel flapping in the wind.
Can you show us how easy it is?
So this is a prototype hinge, which requires removing these bolts out of the hinge.
Okay.
So we're gonna, before this hits production, we'll have a lift on, lift off hinge that's toolless.
Okay.
So that's a big thing on our end. We want to make sure it's an easy process. Right now it takes about 2 minutes.
Right.
But we want it to be 10 seconds.
Right.
And then the strut will change out this piece right here, so it's just a little plastic bit that lifts off instead of having to remove the pin. Because these are so small, you know, we're worried about customers losing these potentially.
Right.
And then not being able to attach the panel back on.
Right.
So we don't want there to be any parts that come off to remove the panel.
Gotcha.
And then the inside actually has a turret hatch.
I like that. Yeah, that's pretty slick. Stand up in the middle of it. You can stand up in the bed then, whether you are changing clothes or you want to take a picture or mount stuff on top.
Totally.
Like all of that.
The idea is for the future with a rooftop tent that has access from the topper that you can stand up in, and then be able to take that tent off and run a full camper setup that's under 200 pounds.
And then go through the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's slick.
Yeah. So that's coming, and then the panel just has these 2 hinges, and this actually just lifts right off. You can stand up in it. You can feel the weight of that if you want. Get an idea.
Wow, super light.
Yeah. So
that's slick.
That's the turret hatch. So for hunters, photographers, you know, anybody that does a lot of camping, it's just a really cool feature. Yeah. And then we're using L-track for all the mounting accessories. So the idea is any future accessory we come out with will be a quick detach. So instead of having to go in there and mess with hardware for however long it takes, you know, if you need to get a cabinet in and out, it becomes a very fast process.
Nice.
So, inside. we've got the same L track that's running along the side rails
yeah.
and on the roof. We've actually increased the roof height about 4 inches. So if you want to store accessories along your roof, like max tracks or rifles or whatever you can think of, you're not impeding on your pass-through visibility through the back. And then when you look at the way it's mounted into the truck, we actually have custom brackets that will be specific to each individual model. So it's bolted into your bed. We don't want there to be any hesitation on driving the truck as hard as it can go and having the topper move around. So we built everything with performance in mind. Ultra light and ultra strong.
I know that carbon fiber is virtually, I mean, it's super strong. But as far as like a scratch, if it was to get scratched by something, is there some kind of, can you polish it out, or is that a?
Yeah. It's going to perform just like a normal automotive clear coat.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So if you need to go in and buff it, we'll make sure the clear coat's thick enough.
Gotcha.
To where it's performing above what you'd see on an OEM vehicle. And then there's a lot of little Easter eggs in here too.
Yeah.
Like we've actually, so all the glass is made in Ohio, and we've got our logo embedded into the silk screen.
That's
so
awesome.
you can see it right here.
Yeah.
And then in the side windows, it's actually in the corners there. We really tried to go above and beyond to make this product.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
We've partnered with Diode Dynamics on lighting. So the US made aspect of this is really important to us.
Absolutely.
And all the carbon fiber manufacturing is happening here, the glass is here. We partnered with Diode because they're a US lighting supplier.
Yep.
It comes standard with 2 stage series rock lights on the inside. You can upgrade to have 4. It's complete overkill on lighting, but
Nice.
That's awesome though. I mean, everybody's in the, and we don't want to live in the dark.
yeah. Exactly. So
So
you can do
where,
red lens, white lens, amber lens.
where do you think you'll be retail base model?
So we will start at 8,500. We're doing a 10% launch discount to pre-order for the SEMA show and our big public launch. And then depending on what options you get, like the turret hatch is an option, adding glass to the sides is an option. And then we'll have roof rails and then follow-on accessories that we'll continue to come out with.
Cool.
But the cost is definitely up there.
Yeah.
But it's a high-end product with a lot of features that nobody else is offering.
Yeah.
To be able to have something like this that is so light, and then still have the options of what you can put on there. You can put a rooftop tent on there, like you were saying, and all of those things that people want it to be more usable than one thing. Yeah, it has to be a utility that you can use multiple ways. So
the primary focus of this product was performance and utility. We wanted to make something that was not compromised anywhere from every single thing that you put on it. So if you want the best,
there you go.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. What is it? Buy once, cry once.
Yeah. I said, strong, light, cheap, pick 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn your thing around. Hey, if you guys are looking for the top end of toppers for your soon-to-be maybe Gladiator, and right now, of course, they've got it on their Ford, but check these guys out. Definitely a pretty unique product that's pretty well built, and definitely a special kind of Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, great to meet you.